It's your boy Sean J coming at you live and direct with another one. Today's topic of conversation is today is story time, fellas. Story time. My first time getting high. Now before I start the video, I'm gonna let y'all know all the drugs I have used. I'm gonna let y'all know all the drugs I have used. Alright, y'all ready? Make sure there ain't nothing on my lips before I proceed. Boy clean. Should be good, you dig? Good? Alright, we good. Alright. I've tried ecstasy twice. First time I got high off it. Second time, didn't get high off it. But I tried it twice. I admit I tried it twice. Wasn't for me. I tried shrooms once. I got high off of it. It was a lot of fun, but I only tried it once, and I don't want to try it again. Of course, I smoked tons of weed and drank, if you consider alcohol a drug. I guess they do consider it a drug, I guess. You know, whatever. But I don't do any of those anymore. I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't pop pills. I don't pop shrooms. I don't do any of that stuff anymore, fellas. I'm sober. I got sober back in 2020 from weed and alcohol. Like weed, I ain't smoked weed since 2020, and for the alcohol, I ain't touched a drink since December 30th of 2019. I try to make it land on New Year's. But before that, before I relapsed on the 30th of December, before that, your boy ain't touched it for like another year, a year plus. I just wanted to land on a day that I can remember, like 2020. You know, start of a new year is 2020. That's how you can remember. Okay, I stopped drinking and smoking on 2020. So, like I said, guys, I'm not advocating for popping pills, smoking weed, drinking. I'm not advocating for any of that stuff because I don't even do it no more. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't partake in any of them drugs. I'm high off life. I enjoy being sober. I enjoy being healthy. I like being healthy, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, let's get to the story, fellas. So the story starts back in 8th grade, fellas. My joint started back in 8th grade. So I was I think it was probably close to the beginning or the middle of the year in 8th grade of school. And you know, I had to make all new friends because all my friends from elementary, they went to they went to Bryant. I think that's what the junior high is called, Bryant Junior High. Yeah, Bryant Junior High. I went to Glendale. High. Or not Glendale High, Glendale Junior High. So they all went to a whole different school. So I was on my own. I had to make all new friends, fellas. And like I said on my previous video, my other video, I was trying to fit in. I ain't gonna lie about it. So I remember the very first time I seen weed, though. It was, I was in piano class. Yes, I was actually in piano class. And homie came through. I ain't gonna say nobody's name on here. Homie came through, right? Don't matter. We don't speak anymore anyways, but I ain't gonna say no names. Homie came through and he had some weed in his sock. And he pulled it out and showed me. He's like, oh, I got some weed. He was happy that he got some weed, though. We in 8th grade, fellas. We 13 years old, bro. 8th grade. And dude was like, oh, man, I got some weed, man. I got some weed, bro. He showed me the weed. I'm innocent. I'm innocent over here. I've never smoked weed or seen weed in a day in my life. I'm drug free over here. So when I seen it, I was like, oh, he's a bad guy or he's a bad person. Like, oh my God, this dude got some weed on him. And, you know, we just went back. How I reacted, I was stunned. I was shocked. I didn't know kids was doing that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because I was totally against it at the time. I was like, man, weed, like, that's crazy. You know? But like I said, I wanted to fit in. So later on, a few months later, I had a class with one of my other homies. And me and his homie was pretty cool because this is back when PS1 was popular. PS1 was out. Man, every day after school I go to his crib and we would play games. We play PS1. Had a good time, man. Those bring back a lot of memories on PS1 games. Siphon Filter and all of them joints. I can't name them all, but a lot brings back memories. I remember one day he came to class. I was in the same class he was in, and it was what's that joint called? Science class. And I love science class. I love me some science. I do. I love science. But anyways, we was in science class, and we were sitting next to each other, and he started going on. He's like, "Listen, man, my brother blazed me up, bro." I was like, "Okay, blaze you up? What do you mean blaze you up? I got high for the first time." I'm like, "Oh snap, okay." He's like, "Man, it was so much fun." I start asking him questions. He's like, "Nah, man, it's so much fun, bro. That joint was so much fun, man. We got high. My brother blazed me up, man." He sat there the whole period just explaining how he felt and how much fun he had. So, like I said, I was hanging out with him. We started hanging out, getting there every day, guys. And I went over his house, right? And I remember one day I went over his crib, and he had a friend that lived like half a block away from him. So we went over to this dude's house. Now, I didn't know this dude from anything. I didn't know him. The homie I was hanging around with, that hung around with every day, knew him. And we went to his crib, and he smelled like weed. It's my first time smelling weed. I'm like, oh, okay. And he was smoking out of a aluminum pipe, right? And I was just like, man. He asked me if I wanted something. I was like, nah, I'll pass on that. I don't want nothing. But he's like, all right. He smokes up. So, homie smoked up with him, and we went outside to play some ball, right? We're playing ball and having a good time playing some ball. And it was time for another smoke session for them. So we went inside dude's camper, right? This is my first time smoking, fellas. We went inside dude's camper, and dude had something better than the little Weasley freaking aluminum pipe. He had a steamroller, right? He made a steamroller, right? And they were smoking, and they passed it to me. I must have hit it 2 or 3 times, fellas. I hit that joint 2 or 3 times, and I didn't get high. But do you know why I didn't get high? It's because I didn't inhale. And dude was like, man, you gotta inhale, man. You gotta inhale that ish, man. And he taught me how to inhale, so I inhaled it, and I was high. I got high within like 2 minutes, fellas. My very first time was in a camper. So I got high. And keep in mind, we were playing basketball before, all right? So after we got high, we went back to playing basketball. Guys, there's no playing basketball for me, man. I was so high. Man, I was just, every time I would dribble, I just bust up, start laughing. So I couldn't even handle the ball. I was laughing uncontrollably for hours, man. I was laughing. Nigga, I was so hot, man. You couldn't tell me nothing, bro. Like, I was just so high, feeling so good. I couldn't play ball. I ain't even gonna lie, but I couldn't play ball. I couldn't even shoot. I was just laughing hard. Like, those were the good old days. Part of me wishes the days were like that, but that's another story for another day, because these days, weed makes me a wreck. I can't stand weed no more, but man, I used to laugh so much. That day, I'm gonna stick to the day, what I'm talking about. I used to laugh, man, I was just laughing, bro. Uncontrollably laughing. And, yeah, the high didn't wear off until like 4 or 5 hours later. And that really sparked me to start smoking up more and more. That very first time that was the best high I ever had. That was the best high I ever had, was my first time. Obviously, everybody says the best time I ever had. The first high was the best high. It was the best time I ever had. I was laughing uncontrollably. I couldn't stop laughing. I couldn't play ball because I was so high. It was a good time. It was a good time. those were memories. You know, I'll never forget those memories. But yeah, that's my story, fellas. That's how my very first time getting high. That's my story. Was in the camper with, you know, we hotboxing it, and yeah, man, I ain't gonna never forget that, man. It's crazy memories. But yeah, fellas, that's my story. Like, comment, subscribe. Deuces.